Can't really tell with this light, but this is Prometheus. One of the babies I'm keeping. There you go. Yeah. They have been eating pinkies. Pinky parts and pinkies. Small pinkies. No, I ran out of them. And I have a few fuzzy mice left, which I'm feeding my corn snake. So the babies are going to be getting worms until the next reptile show, which is June 1st, which it will actually come pretty fast, I think. Time seems to go super duper duper fast. There's some kind of showing his, well, it's hard to see his red unless you're in like a certain light. But he is kind of reddish. Oh, there, you can kind of see it there. The way he looks kind of tan. That's his reddish color. So that's Prometheus. So here's Nolan. This little boy's supposed to be in a new home this spring. They really love worms. I think worms to garter snake are just like flipping hell of a sugar candy. They'll eat the pinkies, but not as enthusiastically as they do worms. So that tells you something. They really just love worms. And worms are what they started out with. And then I was rubbing pinky parts and worm guts, and it went from there. Worms are very messy though. It gives them very stinky poo. That's the only problem with worms, I think. Nolan's got that very beautiful bold stripe. It looks like he's going to take his food away so we can't see him eat. And he's had a wound that was an accident, but it's all healed up pretty much. He's still the runt, you know, he hasn't really caught up in the growth. Prometheus is the second smallest. Surprisingly, I was hoping, you know, even though he was a runt, that because he's a boy, he would grow fast like Demigod did. Demigod's just always been just a huge glutton, though. And actually, I'll show you Demigod next. They've all had 2 to 3 sheds this year so far. I believe that's about right. I was keeping track of their first year in sheds. I haven't been very good about this second year as far as sheds go. I think he just wants to go eat that alone. We'll leave him be. Here's Demigod. I think you can pretty much tell he is the biggest of my babies. And he can eat a small pinky mouse with no issue whatsoever. But yeah, with them eating these worms, I have to feed them 2 to 3 times a week. So I go out in the yard at night and I actually grab them with these tongs from the ground real quick before they go back in their holes. It's a really weird looking worm bit, but he'll eat it anyway. Don't eat the tongs. There you go. Yeah, but he's also got a nice pretty bold stripe. Demigod, Nolan, and Prometheus have fairly bold stripes. Prometheus is kind of fading because he's kind of a tannish color. But Faye's the one, and I was going to call her... Well, Faye was close to Fade, and I thought Faye was a cute name. We'll show you Fade here in a second. She's a pretty big girl herself. She's got some nice weight on her. I really think, you know, for a boy, he's just like super thick. He's just because he's so gluttonous, and when I had the extra food when he was a baby, I would give him more and more as he would eat. He would eat more than the others. And he's just sitting there right now. Oops. You gonna finish that worm? I think he's kind of scared. Anyway, we'll let him be, and I'll show you. Here's Faye. As you can see, that stripe on her back is pretty much gone. Yeah, it's really faded on her back. And she's basically demigod size. They're about the same size. It's a face off. She got a little startled. Yummy. Ew, worm poop. You got worm poop on your mouth. They tend to rub that off themselves. They'll just rub it on the paper towel. Let's see if she does it. Well, we'll leave her be. Here's Ryan. I just removed his water bowl so we could feed him. He is the baby. He's still a baby. He didn't really grow a lot last year. You see, that's always been there on his head. It used to be just an indented skull, and every time he sheds, it looks kind of raw again. And then it takes a little while to look like a scale again. He was one I was just going to keep until that healed up, but it never healed up. And that was, I think, was it June last year I found him? Maybe in April or May, I don't know. I'll have to look up. But he's been with me about a year at least. So, yeah. He may decide to take his food elsewhere for eating. But yeah, there's Ryan. Doesn't really look like he's grown much, unfortunately. So, I mean, he's pretty enthusiastic. Through the winter, he went 1 month without eating, I think, and then it was like every 2 to every 3 weeks he'd eat. So that's okay. I mean, that's not bad. Now you can see how raw that looks on his head. I think it may not be as indented as it was before, but you know, it's just still looks a little nummy. There you go though. That's Ryan. Handsome little guy. Musks a lot. He's probably my biggest musker as far as the garter snakes go. So, there you have Ryan. Cute little guy. Here's Popsicle. The same day I caught Ryan. She's healthy. Definitely has gotten some growing on her, I think. She's about the same size as Miyuki and has been since I got her. So they're kind of growing together. Since I have extra worm that I got tonight, I'm going to go ahead and give her one of these. I tried feeding Sebastian, and Wajette has not even eaten since like November of last year. There you go. You gonna go hide from us? Are you gonna go hide from us? I'm pretty sure she's in shed. She is looking kind of dull right now. The way she's moving right now kind of reminds me of how velociraptors move on Jurassic Park. I mean, I know they model those things after reptiles and lizards. And snakes are very lizard-like in their own way. They're just basically lizards without legs, you know. I mean, they have legless lizards, but yeah, she's gone away to eat her worm. But yeah, I'll go ahead and show you the ones that are eating as well. Poor Wajette just looks ridiculously skinny. But she's not eating. She's definitely in need of a shed. She hasn't shed yet. I'm hoping maybe if she sheds, right after she sheds, she'll eat. I just tried to feed her earlier, and she's just not eating. I'm really hoping she'll pick up and eat. My last resort would be releasing her back into the wild. But we'll see how this plays out still. It's been like since beginning of November and in October since she's eaten. So let's hope for a shed at least soon. That'd be great. Here's the handsome Sebastian. You can see his beautiful purples and yellows. He did eat, God, I can't even, he's eaten like a couple times this year. He's eaten a few fuzzy mice. But he just hasn't eaten lately. I think he's just wanting to breed. I don't have a girl for him or something. He looks kind of small for breeding, but you know, he's a year old. That's supposed to be their breeding age. So I wish I did have a girl. I've been looking for a girl. Anyone want to spread the word for me? I really would love to have a ready to breed female albino checkered garter snake. Or, you know, if someone wants to just give me a free baby to raise again, that'd be awesome. But yeah, that's Sebastian. And here's Miyuki. I've kind of put the lighting in her cage so you can see her pink whitiness here. I love that about her. And I know she'll eat because she is my gluttonous girl. Oops, that scared her though. Or you don't want to eat right now. Now that I've seen you're gluttonous, huh? Are you gonna eat that? Ew, it's getting all over you. Maybe she not be hungry right now. Now I have to feel like I have to wash her off. Huh. Well, I guess she's not hungry. That'll give me extra worm to cut up for the baby garters. Spray you off. Oh, with just a little water. It's not cold either. I feel like I have to spray her off after she gets worm guts on her. Oh, because you're white and you stain. Oh no! Just a little. I know. She's okay. She just doesn't want to eat right now for me, which is weird. She's usually one of my big gluttonous girls and really feisty, as you'll have seen in past videos. So, There you have it, though. Nope, we're not getting out for adventures. Sorry. You had your adventure when you were younger. She still looks really nice and gorgeous. She'll still look a more pinkish and palish in the sun, I believe. I'll have to bring her out in the sun again. Get a video out there side of her. But there she is. Yuki, my snow plains Garter.